Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. So as you saw in the title, we are getting ready for Sick Week in Florida in February. So Sick Week is a drag and drive event, kind of like Hot Rod Drag Week or Rocky Mountain Race Week, or Midwest Drags, or some of the other local regional type events that is exploding across the country. So we will be heading down the week, I think we're leaving the 9th of February to head down that Wednesday after work. So we can get down a little early, maybe enjoy a day, and then, get ready for Sunday Tech Day, and then, obviously everything that goes on beyond that. But anyway, we're starting to prep. So I've got the car up on jack stands here, doing a good thorough underneath the car, good nut and bolt check. Checking the suspension for damage, checking like all the fuel lines, brake lines, all the wiring harnesses, make sure there's no chafing, anything, going on that could lead to an issue. We installed nitrous oxide on the cars. You may have seen in the video before this. If you didn't, you can see the video before this where I put nitrous on the car. Swapped out the U-joint in the back to a solid U-joint. The one I had in the back was a one that had a grease fitting in the cross, so that was a weak point, because nitrous creates a lot more torque. So we upgraded the U-joint in the car. Just got doing that. So I just need to go through and do a good fluid check and just give the car a good once over to make sure everything's good. The other thing I need to do, got some brand new rubber. Brand new set of Mickey Thompson Pro Bracket radials. This is the first time I've ever had new tires, drag tires. I bought used tires before, because buddies would give me a deal. So I went out and bought a pair of brand new Pro Bracket radials. Being on nitrous, I was running 26-inch tires on this before, because I have a 373 gear ratio. And with nitrous, I need to switch to a 28-inch tire. So that's the other reason why I've got a brand new set of tires. And I went with the 28-915 Pro Bracket radial. So this will help me, as my local track, doing the little bracket racing, as well as, the drag and drive events on nitrous. I do not plan on running nitrous at the bracket races. So let's see, I got a bunch of stuff I need to do to the trailer here, because now that I'm running nitrous, I need to create a bottle holder. I've got 2 nitrous bottles. I need to create a holder and be able to kind of tie strap them down so they don't bounce around on the trailer. I need to go through everything in the trailer, go through my tools, make sure, we've got, all the, because some of the tools, I take out of the toolbox, and there's a few things that I take out, but the majority of the stuff, I have a dedicated toolbox for the drag and drive stuff. I normally carry like a spare alternator, spare starter, carry like a mover's blanket from Harbor Freight. I carry, boards, just boards if I need to on the side of the road somewhere, or I can put a jack stand on the board or the jack so it doesn't sink in the ground, for example. I got my spare tire jack. I've got a tarp in case it rains, to kind of keep everything dry, hopefully. Let's see, I think I said starter, alternator, I keep like a spare set of intake gaskets. I've got spare fuel line, spare transmission line, just short sections in case I have to repair them, in case something crazy happens. I've got a few other things I just bought. I flip the camera around and show you some of that stuff. Let's see, what else do we got? I got to check the trailer to make sure the trailer is good and ready to go. The bearings are greased. I've got spare trailer bearings in the trailer. When I did drag week back in September of 2022, I did not take the trailer, so I think I took the spare wheel bearings out, and so I need to repack those. Let's see, what else have we got? Shop towels, right? And chairs and the awning and all that kind of stuff. Rain jackets and ratchet straps. Let's see, 4-way lug wrenches, torque wrenches, breaker bars, actually, spare socket sets and things I got to drag out and start packing up. So, we're getting ready for Sick Week. Let me dig some of the stuff out, and I'll cover kind of everything I'm packing away. I'll show you a couple of new things that I got. So one of the things I'm going to be also packing is like these alligator clips, that are pre-wired in case I need to jump something, to test something. I also just got a test light. I had a makeshift one before, but I went out and spent, I think this was $4 from Harbor Freight. I think these things were like $3 from Harbor Freight. I carry some, flat razor blades in case me or a buddy, needs to scrape gaskets. I bought this cheap file set again from Harbor Freight. It's got flats and rounds and triangle, and in case something's got to be filed down. I also bought this E-clip assortment, E-ring assortment, just to throw in there. My wife for Christmas bought me something nice. Yep, air up tires, so I can use that not only, right, I could use that for the trailer on the ride down, the car trailer. If I happen to have an issue, I can use that obviously on the truck, on the drag car. So that's some of the other stuff I need to start packing up. The other thing that works out great, guys, I highly recommend rechargeable LED lights. These things work great, by the way. So I highly recommend, getting, rechargeable one, not battery. That way at night you can just charge them back up and be ready to go again. I do take with me, impact gun like this to swap tires out. Makes it a whole lot faster and easier. I also have like this impact gun, right, has the quick release deal here. But I also take, I also have like a set of these that I take that are dedicated to the drag week stuff. They're in one of the boxes. I also have a regular set of drill bits, the kind that can just clip into those guns. So in case I need a drill bit or a step bit, I can do that. I carry spare nuts and bolts. I carry, for example, extra U-joints. So I've got spare U-joints. I've got spare front wheel bearings for the car and grease seals. I also have, let's see, where is this? Cotter pins, so I got a few cotter pins. I also have a few U-joint, clips just in case. Let me dig out the stuff because I need to start packing it anyway, and I'll see if I missed anything. Shop towels, is a big thing, right? Jack stand. I also take a pair of jack stands in case I need to jack the car up, get under it for some reason. I also take blocks of wood. So if I need to, what I'll do is, here's like a couple blocks of wood. This is actually real 2x4 material, believe it or not, from pallet. Cut a couple of these down, so if I need to put them on the jack pad to raise the car up a little higher, I can do that. It also works good for chocks for the trailer. So if you're on an incline somewhere, you can chock the trailer tire so it doesn't roll forward or backward down the hill, I guess, depending on how you're parked. Let's see. I got some almost like spare gasket material in case I need to do a makeshift water pump gasket. Something of that nature. That's all I can think of right now. Let me tear this thing apart, start packing stuff up, and we'll come back to this. All right, guys, so we've secured the nitrous bottles into the trailer. So I bolted, this wood down to the bed of the trailer, so this will, not, if it trailer bounces, right, this isn't going to bounce around. I added, you can see a couple eyelets here on either side. And then I've got the bungees here, and these bungees do a really good job of securing the bottles, again, from, bouncing around. They'll move around a little bit, but they shouldn't, bounce around too bad. You can see I added some foam here, just some green foam, and glued it to the wood. And there's also some foam underneath the bottles. I think it's like 1/4 inch thick foam. And again, so if it bounces around a little bit, it's not bouncing around against the wood. So just a couple of things to make sure that, you know, the bottles are secure during transport, you know, on the drag and drive. And don't worry, guys, these will not be in the trailer overnight. So if somebody decides, hey, you know, I want to break into, you know, my trailer, these won't be here. They'll be in the hotel with me. Guys, it is 38 degrees out in Michigan in January. So I just got doing a bunch of work to the car. Figured I'd take it out since it's halfway decent and just do a double check, make sure everything I did, there was no problem. So when we hit Florida, you know, we can just do some tuning and enjoy our week. So, so far so good. All right, guys, just Matt put the new rims and tires on. You know, this is a drag radial, so these will not be driven on the street. You know, I'll run my swap out for my street tires, but this is a 28-915, and I basically just barely have enough room, you know, in here. You know, basically the width of my finger between, you know, the tire and the fender here, and a little less than that to the spring. So she's, you know, I basically knew that a Mickey Thompson 10 wide would not fit. Their 275 is actually too wide, and it wouldn't have fit on fit under the car. So that's why I went with a 9-inch, which fits really good. And it's you can see over here, this one's mounted up. I was kind of polishing up the rims to make them look nice. But, you know, that's a nice big wide section of, you know, tire. Basically, it's 10-7. You know, is what they say from, you know, outer to outer. But the contact patch is about 9. So that's, you know, going to be what I'm going to be running for sick week, you know, drag week, sick summer, bracket racing, whatever. So anyway, polish them up, make them look nice. I'm going to polish up the fronts, make them look nice, and then I got to put some roll bar padding in. Well, guys, one thing I just did is made sure wide open throttle is wide open throttle, because I just put nitrous on the car, you know, different spacer plate. I had the carburetor off the car while doing all that. And it was definitely not wide open. It was about 3/4 throttle, not wide open. So my wife came out here because we were doing roll bar padding, make sure, you know, the padding was going to be good for her too. And then, you know, we double checked wide open. She crawled in, you know, held the gas pedal wide open, and we were able to, you know, adjust it. So definitely something, you know, that I almost overlooked. So guys, I hope this gives you a little idea, some things you need to pack or consider packing. You know, for your car. Obviously, if you're running fuel injection, you'll probably want like a crank sensor and a cam sensor and a few other, you know, sensors maybe to bring along. If you're running boost, obviously you may want to consider head gaskets. You know, so anyway, just different things to think about. Those are the things, typical things that I bring. I also have like a pair of jumper cables. You just never know. You know, whose charging system may fail. The other thing I do is take like a gallon of water. I'll take like an old washer solvent bottle, fill that full of water just in case somebody's overheating, or if I'm having overheating issues, which I haven't had yet, fingers crossed, but I have had to donate the water to somebody else before. So I always carry like a gallon of extra water. So anyway, guys, those are just some of the things that I'm doing to prep for sick week. So like, subscribe, hit the little bell. Thank you everyone for watching. We will see you guys at sick week. Feel free to stop up and say hello, as long as I'm not thrashing on the car, you know, trying to get something fixed in a hurry. But otherwise, you know, if I'm just kind of lounging around, walking around, feel free to walk up and say hello. Love to talk to you. So see you guys on sick week. And I don't think I'll be able to post videos during the week. It's going to be so crazy, you know, to try to do it. I'll probably end up posting them after the week is over, just because a lot of times the cell service actually sucks, or even the Wi-Fi at the hotels just absolutely is terrible. And so last year I did try to do that, and I just really had almost zero luck. And there was a few nights, you know, we got in really, really late, and I didn't feel like staying up trying to do that. Anyway, let's keep an eye out for all the videos. You know, we'll do the trip down. We'll do like tech day, all 5 days. And, you know, you guys will have, you know, enjoy the journey with us. See you guys.